So good morning, everybody. Today we are talking about fluid properties. So on fluid properties, we are just going to do calculations. So the first fluid properties we are going to look at is going to be called density. Density. So if we take density, number one, density. We know that density denoted as this equals to what? Mass. Mass measured in kilograms divided by volume. Volume measured in meters cube. The SI unit of length is meters. So given that volume is a derivative of length, that's length times length times length, or length times breadth times height, we know that our volume is still going to be meters times meters times meters. The SI unit for mass is kilograms. So for this, the last time we did this particular solvings, I gave this thing. I gave a table. I'm going to still post the table again later on. I'll post it on the group platform. The table was about the multiples and the sub-multiples of units. So we had things like pico, hexa, we had a lot of sub-multiples, millimeter, centimeter. So we have centi, we have milli, we have kilo, we have mega, and so on and so forth. So for this particular one, nano, yes, there is nano raised to power minus 9. There is a very long list. So here for this density, we are going to take any question. So our first question says, what is the density of an object of mass 20 kilogram and volume 0.4 meters cube. It's simple. All you need to do is state out your solution. Okay? So we know that there are various data that were given. So for our data is given, we are going to say mass equals to what? From the question, mass equals to what? 20 kg. Our volume 0.4 meters cube. So we can say that density equals to mass divided by what? Volume. So the density of this object now becomes 20 divided by 0.4. So 20 divided by 0.4 gives us what? Our density. If your calculator does not give 50 kilograms per meter cube, I think you should throw it away. Okay. 50 kilograms per meter cube. That's the simple one. So we move to something other than this. We get to the one where the person asking you the question is not wicked, is not good, is not bad, it's just there. And the person says, in my question, I want you to solve for volume 500 centimeter cube, 23 kilograms. For our solution, we have that our mass from the data is given, okay? From data given, we know that mass equals to 23 kg. But for our volume, okay? Please, are you following? Volume equals to 500 centimeter cube. Now, you need to convert this volume from 500 centimeter cube to meters cube. But that would be impossible if you don't know how many meter cubes. 1 meter cube. Please, you pay attention. 1 meter cube equals to 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, right? We know that 1 meter equals to 10 centimeters. 1 meter equals to 10 centimeter from our metric table. So this is 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter, right? So if you do 10 times 10 times 10, will give you 1000 centimeter cube. So now we know that 1 meter cube equals to what? 1000 centimeter cube. So if 1000 centimeter cube equals to this, 1 meters cube, you now know that 500 centimeter cube will be equal to sorry, the markers are giving out. So we know that 500 centimeter cube equals to x meter cube. We don't know what it is, but we know that 1000 centimeter cube equals to 1 meter cube. So if we cross multiply, we can easily get our answer. But already we know that x meter cube divided by 1 meter cube will give us x. So x equals to this divided by this is going to give us 0.5 centimeter cube. Sorry, meters cube. Thank you very much. Yes. You understand the people upstairs. So we know that it's 0.5 meters cube we are using to run our calculation. So if that is true, we now state out our formula again. That density equals to what? Mass divided by volume. From there we know density equals to, our mass is what? 23 kilogram divided by 0.5 meters cube. So our density equals to 46 kilogram per meters cube. If your calculator does not give you that answer, I don't know what calculator you are using. Okay. Okay. This is the mathematical way of converting it. You say let 500 centimeter equals to x meter cube. That is, you don't know what it is. And then let 1000 centimeter cube equals to 1 meter cube. from these calculations we did here, we know that 1 meter cube equals to 1000 centimeter cube. So that's why we are putting this under and putting this under. But we don't know what this is in meter cube. So from there, if you cross multiply, this times this gives you 500. 500 divided by this gives you 0.5. So that's how we have this 0.5. Do you understand up to that point? So from there, we move it into our big equation and say from the big equation, density now equals to 23 divided by 0.5. And then if you press your calculator, you will get 46 kilogram per meter cube. A tank contains 2 flutes of densities 2300 kilogram per meter cube. No, this contains this and 3200 kilogram per meter cube. Each having volumes of 4 meter cube and 6 meter cube respectively. Now the question is, what is the total mass of the flute in the tank? Also, what is the density? So for solution, we have the data given. We have density 1 equals to what? 2300 kilogram per meter cube. Density 2 given is what? Volume 1 given equals to what? Volume 2 given equals to what? Now, what we need to do is we need to find the mass and then we find the density also. So for the first part, we know that density equals to what? Mass over volume. This means that mass equals to what? Density times volume. Why? Because if you want mass to be the subject of formula, you multiply this by this, that's cross multiply. So density stands alone. or sorry, mass stands alone, or you multiply both sides by volume, and then the volume here will cancel, and then we now have density times volume. So let's take for the first mass, mass 1 equals to density 1 times volume 1, right? So mass 1, let's call mass 1 M1, equals to density 1 is what? 2300 times volume 1 is what? 4. So you do the calculation. It's what? 9200 kg. So mass 2 now equals to density 2 times volume 2, right? So M2 equals to what? 3200 times what? 6, 19,000 kg. So total mass, or MT, that's total mass, equals to M1 plus what? M2. So you say MT equals to, M1 is what? 9200 plus M2 is what? So when you add that up, what does it give? 28,400, I presume. 28,400 kilogram. Now, for us to know the average volume, sorry, the average density, what is the density of the fluid? We will now do the total mass divided by the total volume. So our total volume, for us to know the density, density of the mixture equals to what? MT over what? VT, where MT equals to total mass VT equals to what? Total volume. So from here, we have that VT is what? V1 plus V2, which equals to what? 4 plus 6, which equals to 10 meter cube. So from that place, our density equals to, what? MT over VT, which equals to, our MT is what? Divided by what? That gives us what? 2,840 kilogram per what? So the second one we treat is the specific gravity of any fluid. The specific gravity of any fluid equals to the density of that fluid divided by the density of water. So if you are given any question like, What is the specific gravity of fluid A, whose density is 420, so 4,200 kilograms per meter cube. Yeah, water density is constant for pure water. I don't mean sachet water, I mean pure water. I don't mean the one they sell here in Nigeria. I mean the one they have tested in the lab. Density is supposed to be constant. The density of water is usually around 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. So if they tell you what is the specific gravity of this particular human being, of a fluid whose density is 4,200 kilogram per meter cube, when they ask you that, you say specific, after your solution, the next thing is that specific gravity, that's SG, equals to what? Density of fluid divided by density of water. Now, given data is that density of fluid equals to what? 4,200 kilogram per meter cube, whereas density of water is always 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. So the SG, that's specific, specific gravity. Specific gravity of the fluid equals to 4,200 divided by what? 1,000. So SG equals to 4.2. No unit, is a dimensionless unit. It does not have any unit.